welcome to my first 2011 part 2 with this guy. First off, we just had an addition to our family. My son Connor was born on the 18th, so I'm very proud of my wife. We're very proud. He's 10 pounds. He's a big baby. Happy to have him. Second note, big shout out to the Delta Mod B team. This shout out's a long time coming. So these guys go. BT movie night. And the most important administrative note, weapon. Your weapon is safe and clear. Again, these are just snap cap dummy rounds. Alright, let's get into it. First off, I love this action. All kind of the tropes you hear about, like, you know, sliding on glass or the fit and finish is smooth. It's all true. It's such a smooth action. It kind of speaks for itself. If you're watching the previous video, for all 50 of my subscribers, it was my first 2011, which this is, and that's a disclaimer. I know almost nothing about the platform. I'm learning. My first gun was a 1911, but I shot it. I never did any. I never tricked it out. Didn't need maintenance to it. I don't know how to work on them. I don't really know a lot about them except what you can immediately find online. I'm not a gunsmith. And like I stated in that first video too, this gun is a learning experience. I put in an order for a higher end 2011, and in the meantime, I'm going to cut my teeth on this bad Larry. So, my impressions of her so far. She shoots great. I said this in my last video. She's chambered in 40, but she shoots like a 9. I don't have any problem managing the recoil, and I shot a match with her, and as far as recoil goes, or my times or anything else, it didn't slow me down. It was, honestly, I couldn't tell the difference from just shooting it. If I didn't know it was a 40, if I didn't load the magazine myself. Those from that match were, as far as like jamming goes, like no stovepipes, no misfeeds, nothing like that, no feeding, no failure to eject, no failures to cycle. That all went fine, and so that was good. Now the cons is, if you're on my channel, you've seen the videos, or if you got me on Facebook, you've seen my post, but she might have had a couple 3-round bursts, which meant I had to leave the match. The first time in a match, I didn't bring a backup gun with me. So in this video, I'm just going to go over what I've done so far for upgrades. I'm going to splice in video from the match, video from the range, a lot of different video of her in action, so you can see for yourself, because I love these like talk throughs and reviews, but I love even more actually seeing the guns in action. Okay, so let's start off with the upgrades that I didn't do myself. So for one, if you notice, the barrel's been ported. A quickie open, quick and dirty open gun for me to cut my teeth on. Second off, you had the optic. It's not direct milled on. It was milled for this plate. And oh, on a side note on the Holosun, so we'll start there. I had this Holosun, not this one, but I had a Holosun 507C sitting in my safe for 6-7 months, and I finally figured, I got this gun, and I was like, finally, I got something to do with that Holosun. I'm gonna slap it on the 2011, and just my luck, I put it on, and it starts malfunctioning. It started cycling through all the reticles, so it wouldn't just stop on one. It would go through the EOTech reticle and just the circle, and then the dot. Every 5 seconds it would cycle, or it would just turn off and be off for a while, and I wouldn't be able to turn it on. So I sent it back to Holosun. It was a 10-week turnaround time, they said. I ended up waiting about 2 months, but I did get a V2, so I got a 507C V2 in returns. If you notice, is that a better angle? Yeah, so if you notice, did a double undercut, did that myself. The pistol grip is just polymer, like a Glock or the SIG 320, and I plenty versed in polymer. So this was huge. I was debating whether I was going to do this, because to replace this grip is $300 to get another STI grip, but it worked out great. It actually, I recommend the undercut for this. It gets you way higher up on the gun, and it's just a lot more comfortable. I don't know if you guys remember, but where this little gap was here was just a flat line, and there was a lot of bunching up. I mean, it's doable. Plenty of people shoot their guns like that, and it's not going to stop you. But from a comfort and a level, if you're used to it, if you already had undercuts in the other guns, then I'd recommend it. Double undercut. On the double side, I textured it to help catch the hand, and that works out good. And that's all personal preference, but it is an upgrade. I'm also playing around with the recoil springs. I'm a big fan of Sprinko springs, so I got a Sprinko in there right now, and I'm trying to figure out just what length it has to be cut to, so I have a couple of them already cut, and I have the original springs that came with it. And if I run into no luck with the sprinkles, then I'll go into the original package and just go back to those. I have this Dawson release. So I had originally gotten this Bad Larry, and this thing was nice. It was right up in there, so you didn't have to break your grip to release the magazine. The problem was it sat too high. On this edge over here, it was too proud, it protruded too far, and that resulted in me dropping my magazine unintentionally more times than not. I was about a 70-30 rate with dropping the magazine, 30% of accidentally dropping the magazine. I was 100% of hitting the magazine whenever I want. I never like strained for the button, but that said, it was unacceptable. And this Dawson one actually works perfect because, so if you see, I can reach even from a high grip like up there. I can reach the button and drop the magazine, no problem. It doesn't sit as high and it's not as large, so there's not any extra area for you to catch on. So the Dawson mag release button, I'm sure plenty of people run that other version, and it escapes me who manufactures that. It's great quality manufacturing. It's a great piece, but it just didn't work for me in how I shoot. I'm coming from 320 with a very high grip, so I've been noticing everything on the 2011 you're down a little bit lower. So another upgrade I did, which I've never tried one of these till now, and I'm happy with it. I think this in my 2011s this is going to be a staple. It involves a little trimming down on my part, a little customizing, but I put a Go Guns gas pedal. So if any of you guys are familiar with the Go Guns, you know that it protrudes a lot further out than that. So what I did is I took your traditional Go Guns, I cut it down, way down, I deepened the pocket in there, I trimmed it up a little bit on the top, and a little bit over here. I beveled it off to help fit in the holster easier because I don't have a race holster. I want to get the Safariland 015, but in the meantime I'm just using my Blade Tech. So to get the gas pedal, the Go Guns to fit inside the Blade Tech, I modified it, and it works. It fits. I get positive retention. It snaps in there. I mean, I had to modify the inside of the holster too, so it kind of get on both ends, but it all fits. It snaps together. You can run in and jump with it, move around. It's not coming out of the holster. It actually works out good because this gives it a really positive lock. So this is definitely the machining work doesn't look great because, like I said, I was just kind of pulling it out of my ass at the time. Threw it in a little milling machine and cut a little piece here and a little piece there and get to this. So I'm gonna, when I get my big 2011, I'm gonna redo this with another gas pedal. It'll be a lot cleaner. I know where to cut. I was just kind of playing around before to try to figure out the least amount of material I could take out and still fit into the holster. This is kind of where I ended up. So if you see, I'm trying to show you the profile of the gas pedal. That is more than enough. Oh, I didn't address too. I got going. I forgot to address the 3-round bursts. So I asked around on Facebook, and a lot of people I know who good with 1911s, 2011s, and I got a lot of answers to be this. A lot of CS spring, bend the CS spring, do this. A lot of stuff, hammer follow. So where I'm going to start off is the trigger. It's a Gephardt adjustable trigger. So where I'm going to start off on my next range day, that's a priority, is I'm going to go mess around with the trigger and see if I can take care of the 3-round burst. So my overall impressions after shooting it at a match and a heck of a lot of dry fire with it is I like it a lot. I think I'm on the 2011 platform to stay for a while. Everything's been coming really natural with the dry fire. I mean, all my personal records I had set with the 320 I've already met or kind of passed with a very intuitive platform, and she just shoots great. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the video, she shoots great. I don't know, but it's definitely it's not a striker fired. You can feel that it's a metal gun. You feel like the full rails. Like, I get it. The first week there was a little bit of a learning curve. If you notice, E320, the trigger guard is a lot longer than the 2011. Let me see if I put them side to side, and that's not working. What that does for me when I shot is I got to have like more of the Vogel where my hand come under that trigger guard, and I get to really leverage and lock that wrist forward, which is great for recoil management. But you can't do that. It's not the same with the 2011. With the 2011, there's not a lot of space here. So as like I said earlier, you really can't go too far out there. You really kind of got to choke back a bit on it. But at the same time, you're not fighting that hard to control the recoil because of the way the gun is built. So I'm probably not going back to the SIG for a while. I'm probably staying here. I mean, I'm gonna work with her until oh, I named her Lucille. I'm gonna work with Lucille until the high-end 2011 comes in, and then go from there. But yeah, I'm pretty much 2011 in. I shot this match. If I hadn't had to leave this match, I would have come out, I want to say top 5, but I'll say in the vein of modesty, I'll say at least top 10. But the stages I did shoot, I came in 3rd place on them. And even though I didn't get to finish the match, that it stands the best I've done in a match. They've said before, you know, you can't buy skill. You need to train skill. You need to work hard for skill. But you can buy performance, and I can definitely feel that going from the 320 to a 2011. And there's definitely you're not fighting as hard for that performance. All right, so if you made it this long, I want to thank you for putting up with my true New England accent. Keep shooting, keep training.